The reigning AL MVP Aaron Judge might be off to a better start than last year. He had one of his best games ever, hitting 2 home runs and robbing Teoscar Hernandez of a home run. He was so good, Teoscar simply tweeted, "Why?" and then tagged Aaron Judge. Liam Hendricks, this was so cool. He made his return from cancer, so we're going to go ahead and talk about his return. And speaking of returns, a lot of returns, former All-Star Mike Soroka, it's his first time pitching in over 1,000 days, and the 2017 first overall pick Royce Lewis, he was back from ACL surgery. All of that in today's MLB recap. And remember, if you're going to any baseball games, concerts, anything like that anytime soon, use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save yourself 20 bucks off. Now, before we talk about Aaron Judge and the rest of the storylines, let's talk about the shutouts from yesterday. The Guardians and the Orioles. Logan T. Allen, you guys know I'm a Guardians fan. He made me feel tingly inside because of how dominant he was against a really good Orioles team. He tossed 6 shutout innings to begin this one, and more on him in just a second because we got to talk about Cleveland scoring more than 3 runs. Judgment Day might be upon us, so start repenting because Cleveland, they don't score a lot of runs. So when Stephen Kwan followed up a Cam Gallagher RBI single with an RBI double, and then it ends up 5-0 for rookie Logan T. Allen, I mean, my day was made. He struck out 10 Baltimore Orioles. He went 7 shutout innings. He lowers his ERA to 2.72, and the Guards, they closed this one out. So that means they're just 3.5 games back of first place despite being 5 games under 500. They beat the Orioles 5-0. Another 5-0 game, we have the Rangers and the Tigers. Nathan Eovaldi turned a huge double play early to escape a bases loaded jam, and Corey Seager, he did not miss that barrel. He's hitting .333 on the season with 5 home runs and an almost 175 OPS plus. He and Simeon are making Texas look like geniuses for signing them, and same with Nathan Eovaldi. Right now, he is looking like the best free agent signing, at least if we're not talking about JD Martinez, who we will talk about later, but the dude struck out 4 over 5 more shutout frames. He has a 0.77 ERA over his last 6 starts. Corey Seager collects RBI number 4 on the day as the Rangers bullpen only allowed 1 base hit over the final 4 frames. The Rangers are 34-19. They have a plus 128 run differential, the best in Major League Baseball. And by the way, when I'm talking about the best free agents, Nathan Eovaldi, JD Martinez, I'm not talking about Aaron Judge. I'm talking about players that could have been signed by anyone. Nathan Eovaldi, JD Martinez, they were there for the taking. Here we go. The Royals were taking on the Cardinals, and Lars Nootbaar started this game off with a nice play in center field. But later on with Lars Nootbaar, he had to leave after having back spasms. Vinny P, the Italian nightmare, Vinny Pasquantino, he knocked in Nick Pratto on a double, and look at Salvi putting on the burners later on. That's an RBI triple for MJ Melendez. It ended up being 3-0 Kansas City, and wow, did Mike Myers impress. He came in after Kansas City used Josh DeMott as an opener, and Mayers threw 6 innings of perfect baseball. He was about to throw 7 perfect innings, but he allowed a hit in the 8th inning. Bobby Witt Jr. belted his 10th home run of the year. Bobby Witt Jr. very quietly is on pace for a 30 home run, 48 stolen base season. He just has to get on base more often. Michael Massey went yard as well. Kansas City, they went easy 7-0 over the St. Louis Cardinals. This was the best game that Marcus Stroman has ever pitched, and they came against the best team in baseball. Before we show Marcus Stroman, Taylor Walls, he's not used to the new throwing meter. He allows Seiya Suzuki to get on, and Seiya scores on a sac fly. That was it for both teams. Taj Bradley, he was really good. 8 strikeouts over, I think, 5 2/3, but the story of the day was Marcus Stroman. Stro had a perfect game for a while. He lost it on a walk, and then he lost a no-hitter. After 6 innings, he allowed one to Wander Franco. He broke it up, but that ground out ends a complete game shutout for Marcus Stroman. 8 strikeouts, just 2 base runners the entire game. He leads baseball in quality starts with 10 already. A 1-hitter complete game shutout, one of the best pitching performances of the year. We're going to talk about Liam Hendricks in just a second, but let's talk about the Diamondbacks and Giants games real quick. So Ryan McMahon, he's been the man. 4 straight games with the home run, and there he is again. But here come the Diamondbacks, who get a run back in the next frame on an RBI single from Jake McCarthy, who just got recalled from the minors. And boom goes Pavin Smith. He socks a huge 3-run moonshot for the lead. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. smoked his 9th home run of the season. He's basically hitting .320 with the 153 OPS plus. Dre Jameson, he relieved Ryan Nelson after 5, and he struck out 6 Rockies in just under 4 innings. I have no idea why he is not in the starting rotation because so far he looks better than Ryan Nelson. Regardless, Andrew Chafin, he came in for the final out and he got it done. That strikeout sends the Diamondbacks to 8 games over 500 and 6th in all of baseball in team OPS. Pirates fans, I'm going to send you a virtual hug. I am so sorry. Patrick Bailey, he turned 24 years old in this game, so he's looking to have a huge birthday game. And attaboy, that 2-run double started a massive rally for San Francisco, with Brandon Crawford ripping an RBI double of his own, and Austin Slater, he sent one out. Slater has always wrecked lefties, so that didn't surprise me at all. Jack Suwinski, he did homer twice in this game. I do want to show both of them, so I'm not going to forget Jack Suwinski, 2 home runs. Do not forget future Fuzz. But this game wasn't close at all. Mitch Haniger had an RBI double in the 7th. That opened the floodgates again. Rookie Casey Schmidt had a 2-run single, and rookie switch hitting birthday boy catcher Patrick Bailey, he launched another RBI extra base hit, this time on a 2-run home run. He's hitting 355 with 2 home runs and 11 RBIs in his first 9 games. Slater and Haniger combined for San Francisco's final 3 runs to make it a fat 14 spot. The Pirates, who were the 2nd team in baseball to 20 wins, they're now 1 game under 500. They're 26-27. I don't know how their season is going to end, but wow, I feel bad for Pirates fans because they got teased so bad. We're getting closer to Aaron Judge, but real quick, I do want to talk about all of the returns. We have Liam Hendricks, Mike Soroka, and Royce Lewis, but 2 storylines to pay attention to in this one, the Angels and the White Sox. Liam Hendricks, he's officially back after overcoming stage 4 cancer, and Ben Joyce, just a year after getting drafted, makes his MLB debut. He exploded onto the college baseball scene because he was throwing basically 106. Brandon Drury, he brought Kopech back down to earth with a huge 3-run home run, and Matt Thaiss, he's been a monster. He's hitting well above 300 with 3 home runs and a 126 OPS plus in replacement of the injured Logan O'Hoppe. We head to the 7th where Ben Joyce stepped in for his debut. He got his first strikeout on Sheets. He threw that baseball 102 miles an hour. That was a sinker, and then he punches out one more. Having that velo and spin is just stupid. It's not fair. Liam Hendricks, he was back out there. He did look a little bit shaky, but that's to be expected. He hasn't pitched in a while. I'm just happy for him and his family that he's healthy. Eloy, he did tag Carlos Estevez for a home run, but Estevez, he settled down. He got the save. He has 13 saves on the year now after the Angels win 6-4. So we talked about Liam Hendricks making his return. Now it's time for Mike Soroka and Royce Lewis. Let's talk about Royce first because he was the first overall pick in 2017. He had 2 home runs in his first 12 games last year before tearing his ACL in center field. That is so cool to see. He barely nudges out a 3-run home run as Michael Taylor, he plays Willie Castro just ahead of a strong throw from Kyle Tucker. Sonny Gray, he was dominant, but later in the 7th, he got into a ton of trouble and Minnesota took him out in favor of the relief pitcher Brock Stewart. Shouldn't have done that. Altuve said, "Thank you very much." That grand slam was his 2nd home run of the season. He gives the Houston Astros a 1-run lead in the 7th inning. Royce Lewis, the rookie, he's going to get a chance to clutch up, and he delivers. That RBI single ties it at 5-5, so we're going to have to go to extras, and oh my, Ryan Jeffers hit that baseball 117.4 miles an hour on that 2-run missile. Johan Duran, he tossed some nasty pitches. He secures a 2-inning win, not the save, as the Twins win 7-5. The 2019 All-Star and top 10 Cy Young candidate Mike Soroka, he was back on the bump. It's been over 1,000 days since he was on the bump because he tore his Achilles, and then right when he was about to come back, it tore again. He struck out Ryan Noda for his first strikeout of 2023, and look at Eddie Rosario helping out his pitcher in the 2nd inning. Soroka looked really good heading into the 5th inning. He tossed 4 scoreless, just unfortunately, he kind of ran out of gas as Este Urias ties it on a single, and Ryan Noda, he got some payback for that strikeout early on. He ripped his 6th home run of the year. I do want to tip my cap to Soroka. He got out of that inning, and then he went out for the 6th, and he threw a shutout 6th inning. Matt Olson, he has 17 home runs on the season now, and of course, it's off Shintaro Fujinami. He has been a human batting practice this year, but I just want to mention the A's take this one 7-2 after a big 3-run rally in the 8th inning. Hey, that's a big inning for the A's, okay? You leave the 11-45 Oakland Athletics alone, okay? They win 7-2 over the Braves. The Dodgers and the Nationals, Bobby Miller got lit up slightly in the 2nd inning as CJ Abrams knocked home the game's first run, but it was the only one for the Nationals. Jason Hayward threw a seed to home plate to keep it at just 1 run for Washington. James Outman, he ties it up on a sac fly in the 5th, and Freddie Freeman ripped a 2-run double to extend his hitting streak to 18 games. JD Martinez, is he the most underrated free agent signing not named Nathan Eovaldi? That 3-run opposite field home run was his 11th home run of the season. He leads the National League in slugging percentage. Rookie Bobby Miller, he looks as advertised. He struck out 4 Nationals over 6 innings. He allowed just that 1 run in the 2nd inning. The Dodgers win easy 6-1. All right, here we go. The Yankees and the Mariners. I know that Aaron Judge is going to get all the shine, but Jake Bauers quietly had himself a day. That RBI double was his first of 3 extra base hits. Okay, fine, we'll talk about Judge now. That's his 16th home run already of the season. I think 10 home runs over his last 22 games or something crazy like that. Jake Bauers, his 3rd of the season. There you go. J-Rod, he kind of took over after that with a home run in the 4th and a 2-run single in the 5th inning. So the 2022 AL Rookie of the Year had a big game, but so did the reigning 2022 AL MVP. He bashed his 17th home run and then robbed a home run from Teoscar Hernandez. Judge is on pace right now for a 57 home run season, even though he nearly missed 2 weeks of action. I mean, I'm not really excited for the Judge and Ohtani conversations for the next 5 or 6 months, but whatever. I mean, it's necessary. Judge is that good. And I do think that it was funny that Teoscar Hernandez simply tweeted "why" and then tagged Aaron Judge after this game. That was hilarious to me. Before we end today's recap, I want to talk about all of the stat leaders in baseball. So Luis Arraez, he's still hitting .376. He's number 1 in batting average. Wins, Shane McClanahan is leading the way with 8, but look at Evaldi coming.
What do you mean by that?
Pete Alonso is leading the pack for home runs with 20, but Soler, Olsen, Judge, and Muncy, they all have 17. ERA, it's still Sonny Gray, with Shane just barely behind him. He's at 1.97. RBIs, Jordan is creeping up. He has 48 compared to Adolis Garcia at 49. Clase has 17 saves. Hits, Bo Bichette, he just stays raking 78 base hits. So he's going for 3 seasons in a row and leading baseball in base hits. Strider has 106 strikeouts, easily the most. Esteury Ruiz, 27 stolen bases, and then quality starts. We know that Stroman is number 1 with 10. That does it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate if you watched until the end. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. If you're brand new, hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another recap.